Before I ever held a single ounce of silver in my hand, I was holding a bottle. All day, every day, from the time the liquor store opened till the time I went to bed. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sobriety and Silver, where I woke up sober this morning because I went to bed sober last night. Now, in this series, this is a story of how I went from addiction to awareness. And I'm talking hardcore alcoholic, addict, to finally starting to rebuild my life with purpose. And it's taken 3 years, over 3 years of sobriety for some of these things to start clicking and realizing how important life is and how wonderful life is. In stacking silver, when I got into stacking silver, that was a major part of me at 53 years old, 52 at the time, growing up and starting to realize that instant gratification is not the greatest thing for a recovering addict and a recovering alcoholic, because stacking silver, sometimes takes patience, it takes research, it takes learning. It's a wonderful, wonderful way to learn about life to me, especially financial. Now, most of my adult life, I worked hard, but I wasn't working towards anything productive. I was working hard at being an alcoholic. I was trying to numb everything, and in the process, I destroyed everything I cared about. I didn't realize how far gone I was until I almost, hanging on by a thread, almost lost everything. And I finally had to stop lying to myself and face the undeniable fact that I had hit my rock bottom. Now, everybody's rock bottom, if you ever experienced a rock bottom in addiction or anything like that, rock bottom is different for everybody. Some people's rock bottom may be them losing a job that they've had for years because of addiction. Maybe losing a partner, a wife or a husband. Maybe your family disconnecting from you, which is what mine did. Thank God for my wife. She stuck with me. But I tell you what, she was very close to leaving. When it came time for me to go to my 5th rehab, I almost didn't go. I figured it would be just like all the other rehabs. I'd go, get clean, get sober, get out, get a couple weeks, maybe a couple months of sobriety, and then something would happen, and I would go right back to drinking and using again. But this rehab was completely different, and it was my mindset was one of the most important things. Was when I got there, I gave it everything I have or had at the time to getting clean and sober. And I tell you, God removed my addiction from me. I felt the minute He did it. It was a wonderful experience. But it goes to all the times that I've said, don't ever give up. It doesn't matter how many times you've relapsed, how many times you've tried, got a few days, got a few weeks, whatever, and messed up. Don't ever give up, because eventually it will click and you will get clean and sober and you will start living your life. Now, my rock bottom was I had lost everything, and my wife was hanging on by a thread. She actually had her bags packed. But when I came time for me to go to the rehab, I almost didn't go. And she begged me, go, try again, try again. And I'm so glad I did. Because even I had suffered a heart attack I had a quadruple bypass. I was completely ignoring the fact that I had type 2 diabetes. I was completely ignoring the fact that I had high blood pressure. I was just drinking every single day, day in, day out. And after drinking for that long and having all these health problems, I finally stopped running. And when I quit running and started facing life, things clicked. Things just started becoming better. The day I left rehab, I had a 2.5 hour ride home, and I drove myself to rehab and back. There was no craving, hey, stop at the liquor store on the way home. Let's just start this thing all over again. Nothing. It just clicked, and life became there. It was there. There was life. And it was amazing. It's still amazing. But even as amazing as life is, I didn't realize how unprepared mentally, emotionally, and definitely financially. I had no clue exactly how I was going to fix all these things and how unprepared I was to face sobriety. So this series that I'm going to do isn't just about sobriety. It's about what comes after. How to face sobriety emotionally, how to deal financially, which, like I said, after 3.5 years, or over 3 years, not 3.5 years, I'm finally understanding what all this stuff means. Silver stacking, budgeting, learning to survive without using alcohol. That's where this series is going to be headed. So this is part one of being sober and prepared. So I want to put out these series of videos to help people who are struggling with addiction, who are struggling with alcoholism, to understand what comes next. Because if you stop fighting, you'll never find out. But if you keep fighting, eventually you're going to face these things. And to face life sober, there may be a lot of damage that needs to be corrected, that needs to be fixed, and some of it you will never fix. There's some things in my past, some damage that I've done in my active alcoholism I can never repair. Things that were said. That's one of the worst things in the world, is when an alcoholic says something horrible to somebody, because you can never take that back. No matter how many times you apologize, no matter how many times you say, that wasn't me, you can never take that back. It's already been said. There it is. So again, this series is going to be a 5-part series on being sober and being prepared. I'm glad you guys stuck around. If you haven't, please like, share, and subscribe. Come hang out with a sober dude. I'm kind of goofy and, a little weird, but that's all right. I'm sober goofy. I'm sober weird. With that being said, you guys have a beautiful, wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.